Today we're diving into something that every single one of us deals with, even if we don't always realize it. That rude little voice in your head, aka our inner critic. You know the one. You're not good enough. Why did you say that? You're too much. Yeah, her. We're going to talk about how to shut her up and speak to ourselves in a whole new way. Hey there, welcome back to your Emotional Support Podcast, your weekly dose of gentle truth, emotional pep talks, and reminders that you're doing way better than you think. I'm your host, Noelle Rizzio. Let's dive into it. So before we get into today's topic, which is going to be super fun, if you listened to the last episode, we were talking about like self-worth and if we don't have enough self-worth and what that does to us. And one of the things that we talked about was being a people pleaser. And then right after I recorded that, I saw this on, one of the socials and was like, oh my God, I wish I would have seen that before I recorded that episode. So I just wanted to throw it out there because I thought it was so great and I wanted to share it with you. So it says, when we don't feel wanted, we make ourselves feel needed. Okay, so that is exactly what it is. When we don't have that self-worth, when we don't feel wanted by other people and we don't have that self-worth within ourselves, then we try to replace that with feeling needed by other people. When you have enough self-worth, then you don't have to feel that external validation because you already have it internally. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. So let's get into today's topic, which is that internal voice that judges, criticizes, and undermines you, okay? Usually echoing messages you picked up early in your life or somewhere along the way. It often shows up when you're about to try something new, make a mistake, or anytime that you feel vulnerable. Everyone has one. It's not a sign that something's wrong with you. It's actually a survival strategy that's just gotten way too comfortable. She has made her bed inside of our head and gotten real cozy up there. So we need to strip that bed, put some spikes on it, and make her get uncomfortable and get out of there. So honestly, our inner critic is like an insecure ex who keeps texting you, loud, annoying, and very outdated. Okay, so that negative self-talk, what does she say? She says things like, I always mess this up. I'm going to mess it up this time. I'm not going to do it right. Who do I think I am? People aren't going to understand me. People aren't going to like me. I'm not blank enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not fit enough. I'm not intelligent enough. Okay? And the yeah, but. Okay? She says yeah, but all the time. That's her slogan. So someone's complimenting you about something you did or, a shirt that you're wearing or something like that. And you yeah, but them. Right? We all know this person. Like, oh my gosh, you did such a great job on that presentation. You looked so professional. It didn't look like you were nervous at all. And then you say, yeah, but I really didn't like the way I did this, or this. Okay? It's that little bitch that critiques us. Okay? So, how do we get her to shut up? All right? So first we need to ask ourselves, would I talk to a friend this way? Would I let someone else talk to me this way? Okay, and then what I want you to do in the next week or so is just start noticing that inner dialogue, especially in stressful moments. Jot down the thoughts without judgment, okay? We're not going to judge these thoughts. We're just going to be aware of them, and that is step one in kind of flipping and reframing these negative self thoughts that we have in our heads. Okay, so then once we've noticed them and are aware of them, then we can start to kind of turn them around. Okay, so instead of saying things like, I always mess this up, I'm gonna fail, you could say something like, I'm still learning and that's okay. If you say like, I'm not good enough, you can say, I am enough even when I don't feel it. If your inner voice says this has to be perfect, you could say something like, done is better than perfect. Okay. Like I've realized when I go back and edit these episodes that I say okay way too much. Okay. But my point here is that when I can't edit all those out because that's just who I am. Okay. And so sometimes I'm doing the editing and I'm like, okay, well, done is better than perfect. I can't edit out every single okay that I say because then you guys wouldn't have basically any content to listen to. So done is better than perfect. And then stop butting. Okay. Just if someone's giving you a compliment, just listen or agree or say thank you. There doesn't have to be a contingency on you doing a good job. You don't have to have a disclaimer for why you were able to do something well. Okay. See, there it is again. You are allowed to talk to yourself with softness, even when you're struggling, especially then. Self-compassion is something that we're going to dive into more deeply in another episode, but she is so important. Let that girl thrive. Okay, so this is, okay. This is it. This is my favorite. Okay. This is where we beat that girl up. Okay. Not the self-compassion lady. We like her. The self-critic. Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give her a name. We're going to give her a silly or cringy name or something that we don't like. Okay. My example is I name mine Nicole. I know a million different Nicoles. Okay. There's nothing wrong with the name. It's not silly or cringy, but I know a lot of fabulous Nicoles, but my name's Noelle, and I get called Nicole all the time, and it drives me nuts. I used to correct people just to like show that that's not my name, and now like I just go with it, like whatever, but it drives me crazy inside. Sometimes I still correct people. Anyway, my inner critic is Nicole, and I just really like to tell her to shut up because it's really fun. She's dramatic. She's really critical, right? But naming her helps me realize that it's not me. Okay? It's a different voice. That's not my voice. That's not the voice that I want to hear. Okay? So she's just a voice. So really naming your inner critic helps you separate your thoughts from her thoughts. Make her like your alter ego, okay? Make her your evil twin, your villain to your superhero, okay? But she is not you. Part of quieting this inner critic is building tools to have a kinder inner voice. So having like daily affirmations, which we talked a little bit about in the last episode, are anchor phrases. Saying things like, I'm safe to try. I'm allowed to rest. I don't need to earn my worth. Just saying things like that, again, like we talked about last week, they don't have to be about achievements, okay? They need to be about just affirmations about who you are and how you are worthy. At night, journal or write down 3 positive things about yourself before you go to bed at night. And they can be anything. They can be, I got through today. Okay. They can be anything positive, but just start really trying to get your brain to think about those positive things that you can say to yourself, because it doesn't come naturally. Our brain is wired to listen to Nicole. Our brain is wired to listen to those negative things that she keeps telling us. So if we keep throwing these positive things in her face, then our brain is like, oh yeah, this is the norm, instead of what she's saying is the norm. So we need to kind of rewire our brain. mirror talk or voice notes to yourself. So this is super awkward at first. Maybe even it continues to be super awkward, but some people find it really helpful. Just like talk to yourself in the mirror. Say great things to yourself, because then you're actually speaking to yourself. Or make some voice notes on your phone and play them to yourself later. If you felt really good after, a meeting with your boss or something, and you really want to remind yourself how that feels, make a voice note. And then 3 weeks later, when you do something wrong at work or mess up or feel badly about something, replay that in your head, because we're not our mistakes. We are not just our mistakes. We are our successes. We are our failures. We are our trials and tribulations. We are all of the things. One thing does not define us. Replacing judgment with curiosity. Okay, instead of labeling our thoughts and feelings as good or bad, just be curious about them. Why am I feeling this way right now? Instead of what's wrong with me. Okay, it doesn't have to be something bad. You can just be curious about it and want to know more about why you're feeling that way, or why this happened, or why you did something this way. Your inner critic might be loud, but we are going to teach your inner nurturer, that self-compassion chick, to speak up. You deserve to be on your own side, because sometimes nobody else will be. So you gotta be your own cheerleader, okay? And if nobody else is, I will be, okay? Because you are amazing, and we gotta keep reminding ourselves of that. And just shut Nicole up, okay? So this week, I want you to notice when your Nicole starts popping off. Try and replace her critical thoughts with kinder ones. Okay, even if you just do it one time this week, I want that to be your takeaway. First, name her. Okay, any Nicoles out there, feel free to name yours Noelle if you want to have that. That's fine with me. But name it something that you dislike. If you don't like broccoli, maybe name it that. Or, if you have an aunt that's really mean to you, name her whatever your aunt's name is. Make it personal, because it is personal. She's personally attacking you. So we got to get back at her. Okay? We got to figure out how to shut her up. And having her be a separate entity than our own inner self-compassion lady is the first step. Okay? And then once she starts gearing up, once Nicole starts gearing up, we need to be like, well, no, Nicole, this is actually how it's going to go down. Okay? Or this is actually what's happening. This is how I really feel about myself. And this is going to feel awkward at first. Like I said, the more you practice, the more you do this, the more natural and easy it will be. It will come more naturally. We'll start to rewire those brain synapses, okay? And the positive self-talk will really start to replace that negative inner critic, and we will just start to feel lighter and better about ourselves. Okay, you are amazing. Here is today's reminder you didn't ask for, but definitely need. You're growing, not failing. You're worthy, not broken. And your voice, the one that lifts you up, is worth listening to. You guys are all amazing. Like I said, if no one else is in your corner, I am. If you have any follow-up, any feedback to this episode, please don't be afraid to DM me or make a comment on this podcast. I am so glad you're here. And let's see, what are we talking about next week? I can't remember, but it's bound to be good. Okay. I think it was, oh gosh, I forgot. I should have written it down because I have that menopause brain where, I forget things. When I was pitching my book a couple weeks ago, totally forgot the title. So that was embarrassing, really embarrassing. I eventually did remember it, just so you know. So I'm in your corner. I'm with you. I've been there. And we'll get through this together. But this week, just shut up that Nicole. All right, I will see you in the next episode. I'm so glad you're here.